Jamie Munguia versus Canelo Alvarez. That is right, for the undisputed title. Canelo Alvarez fighting a Mexican, which is something that we've been waiting on him to do. Action-packed in a fire fest. For anybody to stay tuned. If there was any fight to watch, this would be the fight. My breakdown of this whole thing is, in fact, we're going to see him destroy behind Munguia. But that doesn't mean that Munguia can't win. No, there is a way that Munguia can win. Munguia has the ability to win if he can get Canelo to gas out. We've seen Canelo tired against people like Bebo. We've seen him tired against people like John Ryder, losing gas. We've seen him tired against people like Gennady Golovkin. 3 instances, 3 separate instances. Granted, the situation is a little different with Bebo. Never liked him at the weight class, said it was too far above his limit, hence why his gas tank suffered. Understandable. That still doesn't justify that at 168, when he fought against Gennady Golovkin, he did gas out. He did struggle in the later rounds, which allowed for Golovkin to get some momentum and get some success. The work rate of Munguia could force Canelo into a fight that maybe even he isn't prepared for in terms of the relentless, constant pressure. Never being able to sit and facilitate what you want to do, always having to react in the midst of the storm. It can be tiring if you have to deal with that for 12 rounds. Canelo slows down just enough that now his volume can really take hold if you're Jamie Munguia, because now you can't react to everything because your gas tank is below the threshold necessary. We've seen Munguia go for broke and still be fine 5 rounds later. That relentless pressure could be something that affects him. Very well could. And then when that comes into play with the overwhelming offense, now something's getting through. That's what we could see Munguia fall back on. That's the word I was trying to say. And if that does happen, we could see an upset in the making. Even with all that, I don't think it's going to happen. And I believe Canelo's going to knock him out. And the reason being is because of this. And I've talked about this in the past. When I talked about whether Munguia was ready for Canelo Alvarez, he's not. Being 43-0, having, I believe, 34 KOs, I believe. He beats somebody that Canelo beat in a fashion that Canelo couldn't do it in. Doesn't change the fact that he's still not ready, because he has so many habits that still are going to be so open for somebody like Canelo to adapt and overcome. Case in point, with Munguia being such an aggressive fighter, when he throws hooks, he throws them wide. When he throws his jab, even though it's aggressive and it's looking to close in distance, it is still slow and it's telegraphed. When he goes on the inside, he will either stay in there too long and or open himself up willingly for shots. He is willing to trade, if you're Jamie Munguia, to give a shot and take a shot in order to give more damage. He will sit in the fire and be ready to trade with you and bank on his heart and his power and his chin to be more than you in order to outwork you and outmuscle you and then eventually knock you out. That is what Munguia is about. It's an incredibly entertaining style. And I love it. Love to watch him fight. He's just not ready for Canelo, because Canelo can do that on a ridiculously higher scale. Canelo's got defense when he comes in on the inside. Canelo's jab is sharper, even though I believe he's a shorter fighter in this fight. Canelo is going to be able to hit all the openings that Munguia is going to have, like his guard. Ladies and gentlemen, the same thing that happened with Devin Haney. Devin Haney and Jamie Munguia, when they throw their jab, they leave their guard down. When they throw their jab, when they throw it out there, their guard, remember I'm facing it right, yeah, their guard, instead of being up here, is now down here by their chest, nearly by their shoulder, tucked in. So they're extending, but it's wide open. And when it's wide open, on top of the fact that Munguia doesn't move his head after he throws that jab, you're looking at a situation where it is easy pickings to get caught right on the chin. Caught right there by the vaunted left hook of Canelo. And Canelo, I know he sees it, and it's going to get exposed. Other people call that out as well. Munguia leaves his guard down. Devin Haney leaves his guard down. Both of them do. And because of that, they are susceptible to being countered. And if it's a trade, they're susceptible to getting KO'd. Getting the old Ezzard Charles. For those of you who don't know, Ezzard Charles, one of the greatest boxers of all time, and was a brother, one of the greatest trade artists that we have ever seen in this sport. This man would sit in the pocket and was a savant at playing one of the most dangerous games of chicken that you will ever see in your life. And always won. Every time it was a punch for punch trade and both people were throwing, his punch was always sharper, was always quicker, and was always more devastating. And he was defensively sound and wouldn't get caught when he threw it. But it looked like he was staring death in the face. But the brother knew he was going to win every time. That's Ezra Charles. Look him up if you ever get the chance. But that is what we're going to see when it comes to Canelo versus Munguia. Munguia is going to be open for a counter. And either Canelo can catch and shoot with his high guard on the block like we've seen him do on multiple occasions, and or go and throw that check hook. Not check hook, that left hook. Because he ain't checking nothing. He ain't checking nothing. That left hook right down the pipe, right down the face of Munguia. Canelo's hooks are always sharper, precise, and they're always able to time you better than you can time him. If he goes for trading. If he goes for countering, we know Canelo's got the head movers. Make him miss and make him pay all night long. That's what we're going to see. Slip, slip, slip. And once that hook comes, that's going to be telegraphed and flailing. He can pick his poison. Either he can trade like he's going to trade with the jab, and or slip and counter and land a hook to the body or to the head. And once we see Munguia feel the power and hurt by the power, that's when Canelo's going to have him in the palm of his hand. Because Munguia is going to do two things. Either he's going to shell up and start getting wary, or he's going to get aggressive and go for broke. Because again, that Mexican spirit doesn't lie, nor does it falter. And he's got it. And will go to war and be a dog against anybody. But with that dog coming more aggressive, you only open yourself up more to opportunities to get caught over and over and over again. On top of the fact that we know Munguia doesn't have great defense. We know Munguia gets on his front foot with that posture that he comes with when he comes forward. Yeah, you're susceptible to catch him coming in. There's a lot of holes with all the danger that he brings to the table. And with somebody like Canelo, he will be able to exploit them all. On top of having the power to put Munguia to sleep. That's not a testament to the weakness of Munguia's chin. No, Munguia's chin is strong. His chin is durable. Absolutely. And his heart, it's unquestionable. It's just when you go up against somebody like Canelo, now you might be pushed beyond your limit. And that's not saying that you aren't tough. Your body can only take so much, though the mind and the heart may not want to quit. That may be what we see. That may be what we see. And I got it within 7. I got Canelo stopping and knocking out Munguia in an incredibly entertaining affair. Absolutely. Or by unanimous decision. That's what I have for this fight.